Hi everyone, it's Miss Dawn with House of Dawn and Nonprofit Success. And my last video, we talked about that I will be coming on making posts and that I was going to be making these posts to signify the 15 years that we've been open, but over the 20-year journey. And so the reason why there's a difference. House of Dawn, as of May 15th, will be celebrating 15 years, but we've been on this journey for 20 years. And I wanted to share today the lesson that I found most valuable throughout this journey is waiting on God, not running ahead of Him and being patient. I was never a patient person, and throughout this journey, it has definitely taught me patience. The reason why there's a 5-year gap from the time we opened versus the time that the vision was first given to me and I wanted to start House of Dawn is because I didn't know what I was doing, and it took me 5 years to get open. Several things happened during this 5-year period. The way it all started was that I was working in corporate America and I was ready to leave my job. And I found that I wanted to do something for people. I've always been that person that always wanted to help people, and that's where I was most fulfilled. So I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do a shelter, if I wanted to do a daycare, or what exactly I wanted to do. So I started visiting the shelter, started volunteering there, and there was a man by the name of Mr. Buford. He was the owner and founder of the Hope Shelter. And so I started going there just to see if maybe this was something that I wanted to do. And while I was there was a pregnant girl that came to the door looking for shelter. She was 17, I believe. Yes, she was 17, and he had to turn her away. And I was outdone. I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you turning her away? Like, where is she gonna go?" And his comment to me was, "I have to turn her away. My shelter only takes adult women." He said, "I get teenagers here all the time, and every time I have to turn them away. There's nowhere in Clayton County for homeless teenage mothers to go." From that moment on, it was like a fire was lit in my belly. I can't even describe the feeling that at that moment, I knew I wanted to work with teenage mothers. I wanted to be the one to bring a shelter to Clayton County to provide housing and supportive services for teenage mothers, pregnant and parenting, and their children. And so I decided then that I was going to start working on it. Well, I thought it was just, I have a heart for this. This is what I want to do. I prayed about it. God told me to move forward with this vision, and I didn't know how hard it was going to be. I didn't know how to start a business. I didn't know how to start, let alone a nonprofit. Honestly, I didn't know what a nonprofit was. I had to learn the ropes. I had to learn how to start the business. I had to figure out how to get funding. I had to figure out how to get licensed. I had to figure out zoning. I didn't know anything about getting a home and making sure it had to be zoned. I didn't know anything about that. Mr. Buford took me as far as he could take me. He told me how to get, that I needed to get incorporated. I needed to reserve a name. I needed a board, those type of things. But I still had to figure out how to do them. And because the process was so much, and it was so deep, and I didn't know, and I didn't have anybody to ask, I literally had to go through everything, research it, and figure out how to do it. That took years in itself. And then I had a vision, but I didn't have any money to go with the vision. So that was a whole nother process of where the money was going to come from. One of the things that really also that gets people and they don't expect it, just like I didn't, is life happens. I would start House of Dawn and have to put it down. And I would pick it back up and have to put it down. I was a wife at the time. I was a mother. My father was fighting his second battle of cancer while I was in the process of getting House of Dawn started. So while he gave me so many words of wisdom, and helped me through so many hurdles that I came across with starting House of Dawn, he was also my encouragement to keep going and to keep moving and to keep pushing. But during that time, I had to put House of Dawn down again. So it took 5 years for House of Dawn for my dream to become a reality. And it was worth every pain. It was worth every labor pain. It was worth everything because of what I see now. I often thought about over those 5 years, how many moms was out here, teenage mothers was out here homeless, had nowhere to go, needed a safe haven. But I had to go through the process. It put me where I am today. It put me in a position to be able to help other people. So I would say, wait on God. Things that we want right away, sometimes it's not in our time, it's in His time. The very first house that I prayed for, we got it, but we didn't get it till 5 years later. The very first grant that I wrote and applied for, we didn't get it then. I got it 5 years later. Even having to be patient with licensing. I thought I was ready to go. I thought we were good. I had to wait a whole year after I got the house to be licensed and to be approved. So I said all that to say that there's a process to this thing. It doesn't happen overnight. But when it happens, it will be so worth it. It should not take people 5 years like it took me because I didn't have anybody to ask. But I've already been through the trials and tribulations. I've made the mistakes. I have the blueprint now. So now moving forward, I'm able to pass that on to people. So the lesson for today is be patient, wait on God. If this is something that you want to do, it's coming. Just take your time, build your foundation and make it a strong foundation because it's not about you at all. It's about the people that you're going to be serving. So if you like this video, please like it on YouTube, subscribe to our channel so that you can keep getting the other videos that will be coming out the rest of this month. And we also have a $15 campaign going. For the 15 years that we have been serving the Clayton County community, I wanted to do a $15 campaign. Please go visit our website at www.houseofdawn.org or send me your phone number. Call our office, 770-477-2385. Let us get your phone number. This is going to be a mobile campaign, and I want to spread it to as many people as possible to support the 15 years that we've been in operation. Just make a $15 donation. Thank you, and I will see you when I come back with the next lesson.